Live from MMA Fighting Studios, this is Between the Links. And now, your host, Mike Heck.
The iconic voice of Esther Lynn welcomes you to a brand new edition of BTL. Happy Thursday to us all. Great to be back with you on a rare week without a UFC event. That doesn't happen all that often, but thank you for joining us. Today, Q&A edition. Like I said, no UFC cards, so we're just going to banter about with all of you guys and gals. And joining me to answer your questions, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. No Gray Area, the hot take kid himself, the one and only Jed Bashu. And what a backdrop he has today. Look at this. Just enjoying life. Summertime and the living is easy, is it not, Jed Bashu?
You know, sunny Florida, as advertised, sunny and hot. Not even that hot. I mean, it's like warm, but mostly it's lovely. I get why people move down here. You know, fantastic weather as we approach this Labor Day weekend, a weekend of where the UFC has decided to lessen our labor. Big fan of that, and some other stuff going on this week, which I'm sure we'll get into.
Yes, and I'm just going to throw this out there. As you can see, the infamous pool is in the background where Jed created one of the greatest moments in the history of the program. And Jed has said that he will do a cannonball or some sort of jump into that pool if we could get $100 worth of super chats in today's episode. So if you want to see Jed make a fool of himself, jump into the pool, create a memory that we'll remember forever, that's all it takes. That's really not that much money. So if 100 of you guys do a $1 super chat, that'll do it. That'll get you in there. So keep that in mind as we
cover my gas money down here, bro.
And there you have it. So keep that in mind. Casey is on the ones and twos today. He will be bringing up your questions. Hopefully they're super chats because then we can get Jed in the pool. What do we got, Casey? What do the peeps want to talk about? We do have Misfits boxing this weekend with a lot of MMA
We've got
stuff happening, I guess, related stuff. It's certainly a thing that's happening.
Got
so
dirty boxing tomorrow.
Yes, dirty boxing tomorrow. I'll be covering that, not in person, but I'll be watching and keeping you guys posted on what's happening. So
Brian Battle made weight. He won the most difficult battle there is, the one with the scale.
And AZ Ray Videos mentioned another thing. What is the event to watch this weekend? Is it CGI 2, which is a 2-day extravaganza? Misfits. There's also Dirty Boxing, Jed, with, you mentioned Brian Battle. We got Jairzinho Rosenstrike in the main event against Raheem Cleveland for the inaugural Dirty Boxing Heavyweight Championship of the world. A lot of UFC vets on here. Bruce Leroy, Alex Caceres is competing on the card. Guys like Mike Breeden, Tyson Nam versus Ricky Bandejas is on that card. So there's a lot of known names, especially to the hardcore MMA fan base competing on that card. But if you could only watch one event this weekend, what are you choosing?
Probably CJI. Though, like, it's a 2-day event, which is like way less fun in that regard. But the first one was really good. I really enjoyed the first Craig Jones Invitational, and so I'm kind of interested to see how this goes. I know we lost the Gable Steveson, Craig Jones matchup that I wasn't frankly that interested in. Like, there's sort of a absurdist curiosity to it, but like Craig Jones is a professional grappler and one of the best ones doing it. He was certainly going to win. It was just kind of how good would Gable look. Now we know Gable making the move to MMA. I'm much more interested in that. But the first CGI was just really good. And so if I'm picking one, I would rather just watch one night of that and not do two. But the Misfits is interesting enough. Like, I know we are covering that. There's certain levels of intrigue to the various parts of it. But it's nothing like, if I missed it, I would not be sad, right? Like, it's not one of those things that I need to know how Luke Rockhold, Darren Till unfolds. I'd be okay without it, even if I do have some curiosity. And Dirty Boxing, I have never actually watched one yet. I know there have only been like 3 previous to this, but I've gotten to see some highlights. It there's some stuff going on there that's not awful. That is interesting when you got nothing else going on tomorrow night. So none of them are bad. But if I'm picking one, give me the one that I feel is the most proven track record of enjoyment.
I love how we have the tracker, the cannonball tracker on the screen here.
Nice.
And I can't even really see it because there's something blocking it. So all I see is to go. So it's all good. So I'm speaking of the Gable Steveson thing. I wanted to read this. I don't know if you saw this, but anything that has to do with Craig Jones and something falling apart for him usually leads to Gordon Ryan responding to it. Gordon Ryan went on Instagram after this news broke, and this is what he said. Gable pulling out of the main event of CJI 2 and then fighting less than 2 weeks later on UFC Fight Pass is such a baller move by the UFC, who has been attacked nonstop for unknown reasons by CJ. I bet CJ never put a pullout clause in there for Gable, which would penalize him for pulling out. I'm sure there wasn't, otherwise Gable wouldn't have pulled out. I'm sure Gable read thoroughly through the contract before signing, thanks to the advocacy about this matter from CJ. Now CJ can't fight any real jiu-jitsu guy because he will surely lose, like always, and likely won't have time to find another joke match in time. My man can't win at anything. At least I'm still untouchable. Thoughts on this, that perhaps the UFC, Gable, his team, the people behind UFC Fight Pass, maybe nudged Gable in the direction to sign this and then pull out a couple of days before because there was no pullout clause? What a take, I got to say.
It's a terrific take. Honestly, could be true, right? Like, I hadn't thought about it. My guess is no. My guess is that Gable just realizes that, like, unless he was getting paid just an exorbitant amount for the CJI thing, like, he's got an MMA fight. He's going to focus on that, and because that's kind of where his future lies. Wouldn't stun me if this were the case, right? I mean, I get why he's doing it, right? Like, just the long history of bad blood between the two of them. But also this week, Claudia Gadelha was like, Gordon Ryan will never compete for UFC BJJ. So Ryan, carrying some UFC water here with no functional endpoint of success for him really shows you how much he just despises Craig Jones. Like, they're just long-standing beef. Great take. I have no idea if it's true or not, but like that's real A+ take work from Gordon Ryan. So if he is done grappling and wants to get in the take game, I'll be on the lookout. I'll watch my back.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair to the Claudia thing, Jits Magazine kind of screwed that whole thing up. They didn't like transcribe that interview like perfectly. So Claudia basically said like, as long as he's on the sauce, he will be no longer. He will not be.
But he's always going to be on the sauce.
Yes, but it wasn't just like, no, F it, she's not going to be here. As you can see, $89 to go. $89 of super chats combined between everybody. If we hit that number, Jed will jump in the pool. And maybe we'll put a poll up and you decide what jump he does. So
no, we're going cannonball. I belly flopped last time. I'm not living that life again.
Cannonball works
this time.
There we go. Connor, thank you.
Let's get this done.
Let's get this done. Indeed.
It's important to set goals.
Yes. We might do the show for 3 hours until it happens. Joseph Boza at UFC 322, Tracy Cortez versus Erin Blanchfield was made official. Thought Erin would get a title shot. Is the super fight between Valentina and Weili more likely now? I think that fight has to happen. I would be stunned if it doesn't at this point. And you can't give Erin a title shot. You just can't. I understand she didn't fight Macy Barber, and that is of no fault of her own. But she's coming off of a lopsided loss to Manon Fiorot and then a very competitive, very close come-from-behind decision win against Rose Namajunas. That just doesn't get you a title shot, in my opinion, in this division. In fact, I would probably make the case that if Jasmine Jasudavicius beats Manon Fiorot, she is ahead of Erin Blanchfield, and in fact will still be ahead of Erin Blanchfield if she wins, and even if Erin beats Tracy, in my opinion. So it's a good fight. I think this is one that should have been made a while back. There's some history here. Tracy handed Erin her first MMA loss, even though anybody who watched that fight doesn't feel Tracy won that one, but it is what it is. But here we go, Jed. Did this basically tell you we're getting Valentina Weili, or did you feel we were getting Valentina Weili without this fight being booked?
Thought we were getting it anyway, but this definitely lends itself to believing that that's more likely. And we got an announcement just a little bit ago that Dana White is going to be going on Instagram to make some announcements today. I think most people anticipate that the big one will be Islam versus Jack at MSG. We have not confirmed that fight to be happening, but I mean, basically, Islam and his entire team have said that's the fight. Like that's it. For weeks now, it seems an open secret that that is what is going to happen. And so I'd be surprised if that's not announced today. But, you know, maybe this is one of those things where we get multiple things announced. And maybe we get Volkanovski versus Laura Murphy in December announced. Maybe we get Valentina versus Zhang announced. Because that does seem to be the fight that needs to happen. And there's just been no announcements for frankly any of the women's titles, right? Like there are 3 women's belts and we know one of the matchups, and a lot of people seem to think that the other is a super fight, and we've gotten no traction on any of it. So yeah, I think this certainly can lend you to the idea that this is more likely going to be the thing that happens, and it's definitely the fight that should happen. It's the fight I'm the most interested that they can make at 125 right now. So I hope that this is that is what this is saying, and that in a few short hours, Dana White will be like, I don't know what MSG is going to be like 322, I think. Is that right?
Yep.
So 323 Shevchenko Zhang at, I don't know, I guess Vegas is probably where they'll end up doing the December pay-per-view. So I hope that that's what we get in just a few hours here.
Yeah, I mean, what they should do is just to give the women's divisions a little bit of a boost. If they do Islam versus JDM, which we expect, Valentina Weili for the flyweight belt would be a sick ass co-main event for that card. Like that's just a great fight to be the co-main event. So I love that. The thing about the Aaron Blanchfield fight, because I even did it was so funny. Like coincidentally enough, I did a question of the day, and people were like, "Let's build the 322 card. Let's say JDM Islam's the main, Valentina Weili is the co-main. How do we round out the rest of the card?" And I was like, Aaron Blanchfield is definitely fighting on this card. Let's do her versus Natty Ice, and that will be like a clear-cut #1 contender fight. Kind of surprised they went with Cortez and not Natty Ice, unless Natty's just dinged up or she's waiting. Maybe she thinks she's earned the title shot at this point and she wants to sit back away. I don't know. So we'll see what happens there. We'll see if they book Ilya Topuria's title fight for December. I don't know. So we'll see what happens.
Natty Ice is like the reason why I can't read too much into the Blanchfield thing, because Blanchfield is not even the next contender, right? Like Natty Ice is. So if she gets booked, then I'll be like, okay, for sure they're just doing Zhang versus Shevchenko. I've got a bee in my face right now. That's fun.
And perhaps and look, maybe we'll get a 3rd title fight out of this, or a 4th. Maybe they'll say, hey,
we should do an interim at strawweight for sure.
Not even interim, just crown a new champion. Like when I spoke with Weili, she was like, yeah, she's just crown a new champ. Like Weili was like, I'm moving to 125. Like I'm done with this division after this. So those words alone tell me, okay, she's done with this division. She wants a new challenge. She wants to fight for the flyweight belt. So let's do Verta versus Mackenzie Dern. There you go. Crown a new champ.
2. It's Verna Dern 2. Make sure you get it right. We don't want you to have any doo-doo, Mike. It's Verna Dern 2 for the belt. Yeah, all that would be awesome. I am surprised they're doing Blanchfield Cortez, just because it does seem like a little weird in that if Tracy Cortez wins, like this is mostly a setup fight for Blanchfield to get the win she should have got the first time around. But if Cortez wins, she goes from being like number 15 to number like 3, and it kind of muddles up like what's been going on at 125. So like there's risk in making this fight, but perfectly fine fight, and you know, good chance at some get back for Blanchfield.
Yep. Thank you, Joseph. We're down to $72 to go, guys. You see the pool behind Jed. It will be full of Jed Bashu if we get to that goal.
There'll be so much Jed Bashu in that pool.
Yes. El Gato de Santiago, thank you so much. We are getting there. We are chipping away at the Jed Bashu Cannonball Fund.
I'm not. That pool is not deep. I'm not diving in that thing.
Yes, Cannonball. There's a vote for the Cannonball from Muhammad. Shout out, and Bruce Lee. There's a lot going on there. So thank you.
It's a lot.
Lem Ellis. Sounds crazy, but is Montel Jackson 1 away from a title shot if he beats Figgy?
If he beats Figgy, yeah. Right? Like, he beats Figgy, that's the, like, name win that gets you to elevate. And then it's like, okay, you beat Figgy, now beat Piotr Jan or whoever it ends up being. And then, yeah, so I don't think it's crazy at all. Beating Figgy's not going to get him a title fight, but beating Figgy absolutely sets him up for a title eliminator.
My biggest look, people who have been following my career for a while know how high I've been on Montel Jackson forever. Since his first UFC fight, taking the Ricky Samoa one on super short notice, I was like, this dude is just a problem. Big hands, explosive fighter, super talented, but was really raw. Like when he was fighting the Kelleher's and the Colarises and the Sukumtats of the world, but he was just so dynamic and athletic and strong that he was good. And then he kind of got humbled up by Brett Johns. And ever since then, he just isn't fighting enough. And that's the problem when you're in a division like this, where there's constant movement all the time. Since 2021, since the Brett Johns loss, knocks out Jesse Strader. There you go. That was in March of 2021. Fought JP Bays. I think he broke the knockdown record in that fight. He knocked JP Bays down like 6 times or 5 times. Lopsided decision. Then he's out for well over a year. Fights Julio Arce, beats Ronnie Yaya, a little more activity. And that was in April of 2022. And then he's out till July of 2024. Knocks out Damon Blackshear in 18 seconds. And then he's out for almost a year again and then beats Daniel Marcos. So at least we're getting 2 Montel Jackson fights in 2025. So this would be a good win. Beating Daniel Marcos, who was 17-0 heading into that fight. It was a competitive one. But if he goes out there and beats Figgy, yeah, he's in a great spot. But for him, he's going to have to get back in there relatively quickly, probably by like April of 26, if he wants to be in the title discussion, because there's a lot of names in this division. There's so much movement, guys coming up. Like if they do Mario Batista versus Umar Nurmagomedov, like they're talking about, Mario wins that fight, like he's in a great spot. So like there's just so many contenders right now. So being active is huge here. So we'll see. I'd love to see it.
Yeah. You've been high on him for a while. He just has to compete. And if he does it, he'll be great.
Lazy Bed, give me a jackknife or a can opener. Those are okay.
No jackknife. Can opener, we could do a can opener.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Mark Ramundi. Yes, happy birthday.
It is, in fact, Mark Ramundi's birthday. And it's always AK's birthday.
Which 3 MMA media members would you invite to your pool party?
I mean, why would I guess I can't pick myself, right? Because it's my pool party. Part of me wants to invite Casey, but also part of me is intimidated by how bad I'll look compared to him, Mr. No Sleeves, No Mercy. But I'll go the 2 of you. And, I mean, what would a pool party for Mike be without his very best friend, Alexander K. Lee?
There's the horn. Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously inviting guys I work with, right? Like that's automatic, no doubt about it. But I assume Lazy Bed's asking us to think a little more outside the box. Mark Ramundi would actually be like really fun because he could talk pro wrestling over a couple of bevies.
I will attend pool parties at Mark's place. He and I have talked about it. It's his place right next to mine. He has a pool, so. But I'd be going to his, not him coming to mine, you know?
But technically he's not a media member, MMA media member anymore.
Also very true. He's either pro wrestling or football.
I'd probably invite Connor Burks. I enjoy him.
I mean, who doesn't love GC?
GC's the man. Might be controversial to some, but Nolan King's one of my best friends in the industry. So I'm hanging out with him for sure. And I don't want to James Lynch and I have a very good relationship. So I'd hang out with James Lynch, play some NHL 94 back in the old days. So I'll throw those out there. But if I thought 3's tough, I wish it was more, but 3's tough.
I mean, yeah.
But obviously it would be MMA fighting first. And if we're thinking a
Yeah.
little bit outside the box, then I'll go with
Yeah,
those three.
if I'm going for not MMA fighting fam, then it's I mean, you just can't bring somebody like Brian Campbell to a pool party. Uh,
That's what I was
you have to clean the pool afterwards, and that's a lot more work than I'm willing to do. Um, if Luke cannonballed, he'd just splash all the water out of the pool, so you can't bring him either. But like a Ben Davis, we love a Ben Davis. We could
yeah,
bring
Ben would be a
the
great
Bane.
one.
Be a
Challenge
terrific guy
stories.
to bring to the pool. Plenty of great opportunities out there.
Yeah.
Last on the list is Michael Chandler, who I will never go to a pool party with.
Fair enough. All right, $67 to go for the jackknife or cannonball, or the can opener, excuse me, no jackknives. So let's keep them coming. Don't let us down. J-Fish, is Topuria versus Gaethje happening or nah? So I literally just did the question of the day about this. This is the question that I got. Kind of reacting to the rumor and what does this all mean? Gaethje's not deserving, yada, yada, yada. Basically reading off the question. Because there's obviously, it's a 3-horse race, right? It's Gaethje, it's Arman, and it's Patty. We've talked about this. Gaethje's the more exciting fight. Patty's the biggest fight. But Arman's the most interesting fight, but has the least casual appeal of the three, and it's not close. And the more I thought about this, the more I realized you can actually make cases for all three of these guys to get it, and then you can certainly make cases for all three guys to not get it. Like it's pretty much 50-50. It's the weigh scale. You can put little marbles in and try to weigh it out, and you can make the same case for all three guys. Having said
it's
that,
Pokemon.
Yeah,
it's a
100%.
Pokemon starter choice. You've got pluses and minuses to all three different ones. They're all very specific things. They've got advantages over each other in a little round robin. Are you Squirtle or are you Bulbasaur? I got to the other one. Took me a minute.
Yeah.
It's also not Charizard. It's Charmander.
So essentially what I've landed on is if the betting fairy dropped a $20 bill on my desk right now, and I was told and ordered, you can only use this $20 to bet on who is going to fight Ilia Topuria next for the lightweight title, I would put it on Justin Gaethje. Without insight. That's just my guess. I think it's a combination of, okay, Justin's pissed at us. He's helped us out a lot. Plus Ilya's the guy we need to kind of hitch our wagon to if we're going to build anybody into a star, because he has the best chance of becoming a star. Let's try to make both of them happy to some degree, because if I'm Ilia Topuria and his team, I am on the horn at the UFC saying, I want Justin Gaethje. That's the fight, because that is the most exciting of the options to the broader fan base. And to be perfectly honest, it's the most winnable fight for Ilia Topuria as well. That's just prize fighting 101. And what a great way to start the reign, to fight Justin Gaethje, a former champion, the most exciting fighter in the history of the sport, at least top 3 at worst. It's a good way to go. So yeah, I think Gaethje does end up getting it.
So I'm now going to extend my Pokemon analogy because I sat here thinking it through. Patty is Bulbasaur, right? Like he's the easiest one. Probably not like the best one long term, but it's just so easy to do Patty. He's a super good matchup for the first few gym leaders. Just he's playing the game on easy mode. You're looking for a main event to start your new Paramount deal. That's the one. That's how you make the biggest splash with Patty, Ilya in January. Gaethje is Charmander. He's the coolest one, right? Like that's just the coolest fight that you can have. Maybe not the best fight, but absolutely dope. Incredibly fun. And like it'll just be cool as shit. And Arman is Squirtle. Like he's probably the best one. He's probably like the one that is the both the best and the most effective for like, long-term success of the division, whatnot. And so it's just like, which one? Are you a Bulbasaur guy? Nobody's really a Bulbasaur guy. He's Squirtle guy, he's Charmander guy. And I think the UFC is going to pick Bulbasaur. I think that they're going to try and play the game on easy mode. It's what I've said from the jump. I think Ilya should want it. He did want it. They did the face-off. I know that doesn't mean anything, but to me, the simplest route to take is you do Iliad Patty. That is the first numbered event, the first big event for the Paramount deal, because it's the biggest intra-divisional fight you can make. So that's still where I'll put my money. But God knows I love me a Charmander, you know?
Yeah. Well, we shall see. We shall see how this all plays out.
Casey,
Maybe we'll
clip
find
that
out
shit.
today.
That's some of my best work, and I did that off the dome.
Hey, listen, maybe there's an MMA gym out there that really likes Pokemon and disagrees with your take and will be very mad about that. So you gotta
Look,
keep that in
I
mind.
promise you, if we clip that, there are going to be a lot of people who are like, you don't know shit about Pokemon. And I'll be like, you're right. I played the one Pokemon a million years ago.
Yes. Yeah, maybe we'll find out the answer
That's
to
not
that
true.
question.
I played
in 2
at
hours.
least 2 of them.
I never really played it. Never my thing.
Yeah. It was just a little after your time.
Yeah, I think I'm just a little. I think I missed it by
I
a
was like,
couple of years.
yeah, you missed it by a couple of years because it was like right in the sweet spot for me.
Yeah. $57 to go, ladies and gentlemen. We are chipping away here. $57. Jed's going in the pool. Chase, Jed, where did your Chandler hate stem from? There are a million reasons to hate him. Just curious where yours originates.
Well, you see, he opened his mouth and started speaking, and that was it. That was just every time he talks, it's the worst thing ever. The fact that he has like tried to brand 2 catchphrases is endlessly annoying. Walk on and see you at the top is just like, it's the most cringy thing in the world. So much so that I'm going to take see you at the top and make it my catchphrase for the climb. Because he doesn't get to have 2 of them. Just every time he speaks, it's something terrible, and that's why I don't like him.
There you have it. And Jed has said many times that because of if Chandler didn't speak,
he's an objectively fun fighter in the
guys.
UFC.
Yeah, he might be one of your
Objectively
guys.
incredibly fun, and like his style of fighting is usually the thing that I'm super into. But it's just every other part of him that I'm out on.
Thank you, Chase. What else we got? Firefly Funhouse. Thank you. Are either of you planning on watching WWE Clash in Paris on Sunday? Also, Jed, I just started my 3rd and final year of law school. It's almost over. I don't think I'm going to go out of my way to watch Clash in Paris. I probably will look at highlights, but Labor Day weekend, probably going to be out and about and probably won't be watching it live. So
didn't know that was a thing. Don't have any concept for is that important, anything like that. Kind of fun though that they're going to Paris the weekend before the UFC goes. So TKO really dominating France for a 12-day span or whatever. Hey, 3L. There's the old adage of law school is 1L scare you to death, 2L work you to death, 3L bore you to death. 3L year was awesome for me. It's the easiest. You already know what's up. You probably hopefully have your job lined up post law school already. It's just don't fail and cruise to the finish. Enjoy it. 3L year should be the most fun year.
Good job, Firefly Funhouse. We're rooting for you. Get it done. Get one of those big hefty degrees.
Yeah, where are you in law school, kid?
It's a good question. Let us know. $57. Come on. Let's get Jed in that pool. Give Jed money.
I got to be honest. I did not think we were going to hit that goal. And I guess we're 30 minutes in and about halfway. So on pace.
We are. Yeah, we're on pace. No doubt about it. Listen to Lazy Bed, Jed Cannonball, Jed Can Opener. It's all on the table, but we need your help. Next question. Remove Armin from the rankings. Hasn't fought in a year and a half. Turned down summer fights. Still no fight booked. So wait a minute.
Is that true that he hasn't fought in a year and a half? Let me check that out.
UFC 300 was the last one. So 18 months would be October. So if he doesn't fight by November, November 1st. Months, yeah, if he doesn't fight by November 1st, he's out of the rankings.
He will, in fact. I was going to say he can't be out yet, but yeah, he's getting pretty close. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll
He did
remove
tease
him.
something today about some soon or something like that, or maybe that was last night. So maybe he's part of the potential Dana White announcement, right? Like
Maybe.
maybe Dana announces Armin versus Dan Hooker, or Armin versus Gaethje, or whatever it is, Armin versus Patty as something. So we'll see.
Maybe Armin versus Ilya. Maybe they actually do the thing. So
They're not
I
picking
don't expect
Squirtle.
it.
They're
No,
not
I know.
picking Squirtle.
I know. But we'll see. Yeah. I don't know who Armin has actually turned down. So Dave, unfortunately lost my wallet at a wedding over the weekend, or I'd contribute for the boys. Hope it was a good wedding. Predictions for Dana's Instagram live announcement. And we kind of touched on this earlier, but what do you think he's going to say, Jed?
I mean, I would bet my firstborn child that it's Islam versus Jack at MSG. Again, we have not confirmed this, not breaking news, but this feels like the most open secret maybe of all time, that's kind of what's happening. And so I'm sure it will be more than that. He's not going to do all this preamble for the most obvious fight in history, but that'll be the headline. I'm going to go ahead and say and this is much more speculative, but I am going to say that we get Zhang Shevchenko announced, whether that's the co-main event in MSG, whether that's 323 in December. And I'll also even say we're going to get Volk Murphy announced, because maybe you were waiting for Aljo, but you could just run it. And like if John Silva beats Diego Lopez, okay, that would have been a little bit of a quicker turnaround. He beats him, maybe he can weigh in as the backup for 323. So I bet we get those 3 title fights. Maybe we get like another main event tucked in there for, I don't know, one of their upcoming fight night shows, Apex shows. But I'm going to say those 2 main events, that co-main event. And you know what? F it. We'll even throw the aforementioned strawweight title fight between Mackenzie Dern and Virna Jandiroba, their rematch for the now vacant, maybe interim belt.
So I agree with a lot of those. I think they'll announce Pants versus Van for whenever, probably in December.
Totally forgot that fight is obviously happening, and that, yeah, totally makes sense that would be one of them.
Yeah, I mean, Van already said already
Yeah.
teased it, so I assume that
Shit,
fight's getting announced.
That might be the co-main to MSG.
That'd be pretty damn sick.
Be
That'd
really
be a damn good one. I saw some rumor about if they do Valentina Whaley, which I think they're going to do, that Dern Jandiroba for the vacant strawweight belt would be the co-main event in Abu Dhabi, which I think would be fine. Like add another title fight to that card. I'm sure the Riyadh season folk, the Abu Dhabi faithful, those paying the money would be happy to have a second title fight on that card. So we could do that. I wouldn't hate that at all. Yeah, I do think Islam JDM is almost a guarantee.
I think we're just going to get that whole MSG card, or like most of it, announced, the main card.
I think we'll get
whatever the co-main is. We'll get a big feature bout announced on that. You know, maybe it's Carlos Pratas taking somebody on or whatever, because I think he said he wanted MSG. So like I think we'll just get like a lot of MSG bouts, and then maybe a couple of the 323 stuff and some other smatterings.
I'm gonna throw out a super weird one. Just based on the video that I created. I'm going to say Michael Chandler versus Renato Moicano is added. And I'm going to say Leon Edwards versus Jorge Masvidal at MSG.
There's just no chance, because that would be fun, and they're not going to do that.
I mean, I don't know how fun that fight actually is.
It would be a fun thing to talk about. The fight probably itself wouldn't be that fun. Honestly, I'm more interested in that fight than I've ever been.
Yeah, I just don't want to see.
Than I've ever been.
Yeah, I don't care. Like to see Leon Pratas would obviously be a big deal for Pratas, but like what are we doing here? Masvidal's gonna come back and fight in the UFC, and he continues to say he's fighting in the UFC. Like, what are we doing? Just book that damn fight. Let's just get this over with, and then we can move on to the other fun stuff. So, I mean, there's a lot of names it could be. but I think we're going to get all the main and co-mains for the rest of the pay-per-view year. And maybe we'll get, I think he's going to announce a ton of shit today. So much that I can't even like think about it all. I think Qatar's main event's going to get announced.
Oh, I forgot we got Qatar. Yeah. We're going to get the rest of the 2025 slate, at least the big stuff. I think all that's coming.
The non-Apexy cards. I mean, maybe he'll announce those too, but I think we're going to get the rest of the in front of fans main events, the big fights announced today. So
that would be my guess.
All right, next. Is this Paris card flying under the radar? Asked Lazy Bet. As far as hype meter goes, lots of fun fights, several massively talented debutants, pretty big names. Paris crowd always is electric. I like the Paris card. I like it a lot. I think it's going to be a very fun time. Of course, the main event is Imavov versus Bahalio. Massive fight. It kind of kicks off this middleweight Grand Prix. BSD versus Mauricio Rufy. Mason Jones, Bellagio Key, Modestas Bukauskas, Paul Craig, Ferez Ziam, Kawi Fernandez, Pitbull Keita. That's the main card. I mean, Umar C, Brenson Ribeiro, Tybora, Delija, Fakhratinov, Gustafsson, Gomi, Ruchala. This is a fucking banger, actually. Now that I like read these out loud, this is Patterson, Trey Waters is fun. Brad Tavares, Robert Bryjek, and then, Axel
I think
Sola's
most of the fights are going to be fun. I really like the main. I really like the co. I really like the main and the co-main event. Those are the only things I really like. The rest is just like various levels of okay versus like that'll be fun even if I'm not like stoked on it or whatever. But rock solid Paris card. The crowd will absolutely add some liveliness to it. So it'll be a fun event. Plus we've gotten a week off to, you say it all the time. You got to let the people miss you. It'll be nice to come back with a renewed vigor towards this run of not being in the Apex for quite some time.
Yes, which I love so much. We're out of the Apex until November, and it's lovely. And for all the fans out there who enjoy some early day MMA, you're going to get it. Noon Eastern prelims, 3 p.m. Eastern main card. It's a beautiful thing.
Love that. Love that.
So that bumps it up a point right there. Next. $57 to go. We've hit a wall here. Firefly goes to Duquesne in Pittsburgh.
Well, congrats. I don't know what Duquesne is, but go Dukes, I guess. Whatever you are. And yeah, enjoy it, man. Last year, and then you take the bar, and then you're done. Then you're a full-grown attorney.
Luke Thomas seems like a lot of fun at parties. He does seem like a lot of fun at parties.
Luke is quite fun, actually. So,
yeah. Next. Yeah, Luke's the man. BC's
Luke's really like. I love Luke. You shouldn't get in a hot tub with Luke because he will simply just take up all the space. But like at a pool party where there's lots of room, be totally fine. Wait, what? Font Rosas Jr. Surely that's not canceled.
They just they just booked it. Like literally, I'm going to find out an answer for you right now. Okay. So I have no insight to this. I know that was reported a while back. It was not even close to being done. It was merely an idea. And that's as far as it was, but yet it got prematurely reported. It ended up being the fight, but it was not anywhere near done, which is why we didn't report it until the UFC like officially announced it. And even then, the fight was not done. But the UFC did announce it, so we went with it. But it was not like 100% done at that point. I haven't gotten an update since, but yeah, we'll see.
I'm sorry. Was it Crazy Kev who announced it? That's what I'm seeing.
Reports are per MMA Latino America.
I don't know anybody on that one, so I'll reserve judgment. If it's because Crazy Kev said it, that's about as reliable a source as me saying something, shitting it out. There ain't nothing to that. So,
well, I'm gonna try to find out. I'll see if I can get an answer for you. But yeah, we will try to get an answer during this program.
That's why you come to BTL. Live looks into stuff.
Yeah, it's always tough because then I have to go on my phone and send messages. Star Wars stuff. Who do we think is on more juice, Pico or Chandler? Jesus,
Um,
we're down to $55, so we'll take it.
I am not going to cast aspersions on two men who, to the best of my knowledge, have never tested positive for anything.
Yes.
Also, I wouldn't care if either of them were on juice. I've been pretty clear. Totally okay with steroids in the sport. No issue with it whatsoever.
Next. Cut Ortega. He's a shell of himself these days. He couldn't beat anyone from Bodog fights at this point. Damn.
I mean, harsh words there. Also, shout out to Bodog fight. I mean, what a time to be alive. The old Bodog fights.
Yeah. Should he be cut?
I wrote about this in the mailbag. I don't think he's gonna be cut. But if he got cut, it wouldn't shock me because he is the exact bad combination of things for job security. He is expensive and unreliable. And that is just like the exact anathema to how the UFC wants to do business these days. Brian Ortega has been around. He seems to be well liked, and so I think he's going to get one more crack at it. But he costs a lot of money, and now he's like not showing up. I know he ended up fighting Diego Lopez. Don't forget, he was booked to fight Diego Lopez. That crashed out, and then they rebooked it later because of weight issues. And now this thing happens where the fight almost doesn't go forward, ultimately does go forward, but he looks like trash because probably shouldn't have been fighting in the first place. And so that's just not a reliable entity, especially when they're paying that much money. And the other side of this is like, and this has been true for the ESPN deal as well, but the Paramount deal is going to very clearly, we know how much money the UFC is making for the next 7 years. Now, live gates can, raise or lower this number a little bit, but we know at a baseline they're making $1.1 billion every year for the next 7 years. When you have that, the only way to increase profit, literally the only way to increase profit is to lower expenses. And the way to lower expenses is to not pay guys like Brian Ortega and instead replace them with Contender Series guys making 15 and 15 or whatever the new Contender Series contracts will be with this Paramount deal. So I think he'll get one more crack because they like him, because they invested in him earlier. They still run those Modelo commercials where he's in it. But if he has anything, another two out of line, I think he's gone.
Okay, we're back. I don't know, man. We'll see. I'm torn on this one because nothing would surprise me. He's done at featherweight. They're not going to put him in another featherweight fight. At lightweight, sure, I think maybe you give him a shot, but it's hard to answer this question without hearing from Brian himself. He literally has said nothing since the weigh-in stuff outside of a love you all after the weight debacle, just a little IG story thing, but he hasn't said shit, at least from what I've seen, about this entire situation. So yeah, who knows where his head is even at right now? Where is his interest in fighting? Does he want to be a lightweight? Does he want to try a new hold? Because let's be 100% honest here. The UFC does not need Brian Ortega at all. They don't need a single fighter on that roster. They don't need John Jones. They've proven they don't need Conor McGregor anymore. They'll certainly take him if he wants to fight, but they don't need him. They just sold a $7+ billion deal without Conor fighting in the last 4+ years. So they do not need a single fighter on this roster right now. So they could absolutely cut Ortega without question. But I think they probably will give him another shot. So hold on one second. I'm told I'm told that fight is off.
Oh no. Devastating news. Well, not devastating, but that is kind of a bummer. I thought that was a fun match.
Shout out to Wristlock MMA. They were the first to come up with this story. So
shout
out. Somebody from Bravo Rosas Jr.'s team just told me that fight is no longer happening. So there you have it. Okay. So shout out to Wristlock for getting that.
Why you tune in? Breaking news confirmed. Once it's been confirmed by us, you know it's good. That's the stamp of approval.
Jed, I want you to answer this question.
Does Valter Walker get his 4th consecutive heel hook on October 11th versus Mo Usman? Solo me up, Casey. Right here. The big dog. Entirely possible. Absolutely wild that Valter Walker's on this sort of a run right now of just heel hooking dudes. Granted, it's heavyweight and they're all bad, but it's still really, that's like a fun gimmick. And it's things like this that make me really like MMA. Like when you have weirdo stuff like this and you can think back like, oh, does anyone remember that time this happened? And like Mo Usman is, theoretically, Mo Usman should be able to like sprawl and brawl to a bad heavyweight decision. But he's like exactly the kind of guy that is going to get heel hooked by Valter Walker. Plus, I mean, the Walker brothers, unstoppable right now. So how do you bet against him, given what Johnny just did? Casey, we can ask other questions while Mike continues. Important work. Chase, super chat. Am I crazy for thinking PEDs don't have an impact on the outcome of fights? You can't tell me PEDs got DC to dip his head into a head kick. You're not crazy. I would not be so bold as to say they don't have any impact because all things have some impact. I think they are wildly overstated, the impact that performance-enhancing drugs have in most sports, but particularly in a sport like MMA where there's so many constituent moving parts. It plays a role because all things play a role, but I do not believe that Vitor Belfort and his run powered by TRT was like it was entirely that. I don't believe that. Trying to think of like known drug cheats. Josh Barnett, I don't think he won the heavyweight title because he was on the gas. I think there are many reasons, and that's a contributing factor, but I think people vilify PEDs for reasons that have never been quite clear to me. Because it's just science. I don't know. Seems okay to me. But I also think it would be presumptuous and bold to be like, it has no effect whatsoever. Because, like, everything does. Eating healthy has an effect. Training hard has an effect. So it certainly has an effect. I don't think it has an outsized effect. And I think that that's sort of the difference. I think most people think that if you just take steroids, that is like the determining factor, which I do not agree with.
Quick question. Is there a line? Is there a line in the sand? Like, I don't know. I'm not an expert, but like EPO or anything like that.
My stance is pretty like steroids are not inherently bad, but they are cheating if they are illegal. And so it's just like that, right? Like, don't take them because you have agreed not to do so. And so you are gaining an unfair advantage over opponents who are also operating under those terms. But it's not like you took drugs, you're a terrible person. Like, I just think they should be. And I think EPO is fine. If somebody could give me like a good argument why, but it's just very hard for me to draw the lines between like what is the difference between taking, using EPO and like getting reconstructive knee surgery? Like I that's maybe a bit hyperbolic, but it is like, this is just scientific advancement. And so I'm not like, how is that different than other drugs that are being taken other than we've just kind of decided these ones are too much or whatever, especially when we're starting from the idea of like, you just get way better. It's like, okay, but people are naturally born way better. Like, many professional athletes have like a different chemical makeup than I do. And if we fought, I wouldn't be like, well, he was just born with more natural testosterone. That's bullshit. Like he's cheating. It's just like, I think these things just they're not a big deal to me. And so like, I agree that if it's legal, like if it has been determined that it's not allowed, then you're just cheating. And so like, yeah, but it's not like a moral imperative that we should get steroids out of the sports. That has just never rung true to me.
I'm back. Good to be back with all of you. I can now 100% say with full confidence, Rob Font versus Raul Rosas Jr. is off. No UFC. Multiple sources.
That's a great sound effect.
Multiple sources confirm. The plan as of now, Rob Font, hopeful to remain on the card. UFC seeking a replacement. Nothing has been locked down or solidified as of yet. But yeah, that fight is off. There's also reports about Alexander Hernandez versus Carlos Diego Ferreira on Noche UFC, but I have not confirmed that information as of yet. So we shall see. $50 to
makes
go.
A lot of sense.
I love that fucker. That would be a banger. Let's go. $50 to go. Halfway there. We're confirming news live on the program for you guys. Okay? We're making things official. We're doing our best here. We're going off track. Let's go. Blood and Beer. If ESPN gets UFC Fight Pass, do you think they will push to phase out the regional MMA on the platform? Because I doubt CW plus LFA are bringing in a ton of revenue or viewers. So there is a report that ESPN is trying to get UFC Fight Pass, which would be the library more so. But one of the big parts of Fight Pass is getting regional promotions seen by newer eyeballs, scouting talent to some degree. And there is a growing concern, Jed, that if this deal goes through, that ESPN is just going to keep the library and say bye-bye to streaming regional events like LFA and Cage Warriors, and Karate Combat's been on there. There's a whole bunch of other things as well. So yeah. What do you think?
It would suck. It would suck if they got it just because ESPN is a terrible video platform. And it's just awful. So that would Fight Pass is bad. ESPN is worse. So like that would be lame. This is actually a really interesting question. I would assume that if ESPN purchases Fight Pass, or gets Fight Pass in this regard, that the contracts would not allow them to change programming substantially. Because like, if what would you be getting as ESPN? Just the former fight library? Do you care about that? Like, it's not really a profit leader. Not that regional MMA is, but it is at least content. So, I assume that the contracts would just not allow them to majorly change what's going on there, and so they would get all the stuff that's on Fight Pass. They'd get UFC BJJ as it's coming along and that sort of thing, which would be interesting, certainly. But I don't know why ESPN would want it, but it does appear that that's real. So I guess we'll find out.
Yeah. There you go. It would be a bummer if that happens. I mean, especially with like LFA getting Gable Steveson, like you would think you would want Gable Steveson to fight on your platform, because I would assume he's going to have multiple fights with LFA before he goes to Contender Series or UFC just straight up. Like, you would think that you'd want to air those fights on your platform, but we'll see. Be a bummer if they just take it all away and just buy the library. That'd be fucking stupid. But
it would be
how the wind blows.
And then I would have to keep. I guess I still probably going to end up paying for ESPN Plus anyway, but I would definitely have to at that point. I could stop buying Fight Pass, I guess, which would be nice.
Yeah. All right, what else we got? Jan Blachowicz posted today in regards to having a new fight sign. Care to speculate on the opponent? Give him fucking Johnny Walker, baby. Let's do it. Let's give the man what he wants. It's not like Johnny fought for a long time. He should be fine. He could turn right around. Maybe do Goosecoff. I don't know, but
I say Goosecoff's like the only other person that jumps out as possible.
it'd be one of those
I'll
two
I'll say Goosecoff, but it would be way funnier if it was Johnny Walker.
It would be. It would be. But we shall
And hey,
see.
I
It's
mean,
nice
he
to
just
see
got a
him.
main event win, and not in the Apex, so maybe he gets it. He called. Maybe he gets. He called for it.
Yeah. Took a little damage. Only fought for like 6 minutes, so could be all right. They do in December or something. That would work. All right. What else we got? $50 to go for the Jed Cannonball. Thanks to that, Q boys. I hope ESPN gets zero control over the product. Sure.
We'll see.
Contender Series has been amazing 2 weeks in a row. All 5 guys got contracts and some decent new KO prospects. I mean, I don't know if they've been, certainly better than the first week. No doubt about that. That first week was tough scenes. I don't know if the last 2 weeks have been amazing. This past week was great because it was just a bunch of ass whoopings and then one really fun ass fight that led to a great comeback win. So I definitely enjoyed watching Tuesday. I went out of my way to watch it. I'm glad that I did. Was this just I think you talked about this, but I think Tuesday felt like squash match week where they knew who they wanted already. And then they just put them in very winnable matchups. And luckily those guys showed out. And I think the previous card, the Josh Hokett card and all that, we definitely saw some talented guys. But you could make cases of certain fighters not getting contracts. I don't think the dude who, I forget his name off the top of my head, it was a fun ass fight and a great win. But if you miss weight for Contender Series, you should not be getting a contract. I'm sorry. You just shouldn't. I don't think
He missed
you
by
should.
a half pound.
Still, I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah.
You miss weight for that opportunity, you shouldn't get a contract. Plain and simple. Unless you are just the best
by
fighter
a
in the
half
world.
pound. I think he came in on short notice too, which is the other thing. So, because
Yeah.
I believe that's what Dana said. He was like, "You took this on 8 days notice, and you was a half pound."
Dude, Sean
we'll let
Woodson
it
took a
slide.
fight on Sean Woodson took his Contender Series fight on 4 days notice, and he cut 40 pounds and made weight, and then got a knockout and got a contract. Sorry.
I didn't think they didn't have to. It's whatever. My fundamental issue with this question, Meat Rocket, is it wasn't bad Tuesday, and I appreciated it because it was over quickly. There was 4 first round knockouts and then one really good fight with a comeback. Daniel Cormier gave up the game on commentary when he was just like, "Oh, this guy's a minus 600 favorite, and he's the 3rd biggest favorite on the card." It's yeah, we knew what we were doing here. They could have just signed these people. Instead, they let them do this to get them over. But as a product to view, sure, it was pretty decent because you just got murders and then a fight between 2 guys who should have been signed outright. Both have extensive experience at LFA and Combate, and just should have both been signed previously. And you pair them together. And then it led to a great fight. One guy gets signed. The other dude will almost certainly fight on Contender Series again this season, maybe even, and then get signed. So it's just we're crafting outcomes as opposed to genuinely letting this be a job tryout, which is what it's billed as. And so that feels a little weird to me to some extent. But if you're just tuning in to view some knockouts on a Tuesday, perfect for you. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, not going to soapbox it. Contender Series first 2 seasons, you literally had to blow the doors off the place to get a contract.
Yeah,
literally blow the doors off the place.
Tough used to be good. Tough used to be filled with good prospects and fighters, and then it just became it got to be a watered down product. And so this is just, this is Contender Series. It's not the worst way to spend a Tuesday night, but 100%. We already knew. Just look at the odds. You know who's getting signed coming in.
For sure. And what I've learned more so is, there's some good fights. There's definitely some good fights loaded throughout, but what we have learned is that there's just no way. Because I know Dana was like, I want a double Contender Series output. No, you can't do it. You just can't. We can't do a half a year of this. I think 8 to 10 weeks is perfect. Give us something to look forward to every year. Because by week 10, we're like, okay, again, another Contender Series thing. And it's always like 5 other events happening like
100
right
fights a
around
year
it.
at that point. 100
Yeah.
fights a year. That's just a full-blown promotion.
10 weeks is perfect, man. Yeah. Antoine Ho, Chaplin's going to be great. So, yeah.
Yeah. Also, next week, the main event, Jean-Paul. I don't even know how to say his last name. Former teammate. And I say teammate loosely because former guy who could just destroy me by looking at me type of talent, who's moved from 55 to 70. But he's kind of a small 70 guy, but he is crazy athletic and crazy good. So I'm very excited for the main event for next Tuesdays.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Get Luis Francis Chanelli on Contender Series. Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't gotten a look yet, Casey.
Oh, wait, they're putting Antoine Ho back on. Oh, man. I was just looking at that.
Mm-hmm. Luis is 4. Oh, go on, Jed.
I was saying Antoine Ho got killed by Lonnie Kavanaugh last year.
Luis is 4-0, 4 first-round knockouts. Currently, he is recovering from an injury, but I don't know if he's disclosed it publicly, his injury, but he should be getting a fight very soon. He is pretty much back in training. Yes, ladies, but you will see much more Luis very soon.
All right. Take a few more. We do have $50 to go. I think we've hit the wall here. It is Labor Day weekend after all. Nemkov is amazing. Dude's completely wasted at PFL. He would kill in the UFC. I think he beats Ankalaev. Yes, Don Davis broke some news last night. Vadim Nemkov signed through 2027, which is probably a good move. When I spoke with Don Davis face-to-face at PFL Charlotte, he told me that there are a number of signings that they are going, or re-signings and signings that they're going to be announcing over the next several weeks. He would not tell me what they were. Basically, he laid it out as all the fighters that we want to keep around. We have locked them up, the big ones, I guess. And then they have some fun signings along the way as well. So I saw some things on Twitter. I haven't obviously really dove into this because this is obviously a good keep for PFL, but it's not news that will blow the doors off of you. Like, we're not going to write an article about Vadim Nemkov re-signing with PFL for 2 more years because it's just
because we hate the PFL. Yeah.
No, it's just not that big of news because Vadim doesn't fucking fight anymore. Like, he just doesn't fight. And if he does, he's a minus 10,000 favorite in all the fights. So
he'd be perfect for Contender Series.
Yeah. So someone's someone had wrote out like a transcription of some kind that said like he was talking to the UFC and the UFC offered him like half of what PFL did. So ultimately he decided to stay with them. I don't know. But yeah, Nemkov's in PFL. You could do the Francis fight. I mean, that one's right there. It seems like pretty obvious. There's a little beef between him and Corey Anderson. You could do that fight. Knock that one out for the heavyweight title, perhaps. I don't know. But yeah, Nemkov would have been interesting in the UFC, but he's just not a guy the UFC's going to like shell out a shit ton of money for. He's just not that guy.
Yeah, Me Rocket followed up saying he would make more money in the UFC. I think that is exactly why he did not sign with them. I suspect quite strongly that the PFL offered him a lot more money in the UFC to pay him.
Yeah. That's insane. Yeah, that's an insane take that he would have made more money in the UFC. It's not true.
As a rule, just got cut from the UFC, or they're getting paid more in the PFL because everybody wants to fight UFC from a leg standpoint.
Jed looks like Popeye right now.
yeah, Jed's. I don't know what's going on. Is
I
Jed?
am what I am. Get this man some spinach. Where's Bluto? Jesus.
Did Jed jump in the pool with his laptop? What happened?
I don't know. What else we got? Let's keep it
All
going.
right, we got a few more. All right,
Maybe we'll get Jed back.
All right, hold on a second. This one was for Jed.
Next Australia fight has like 16 or 17 fights. Should UFC say F it and just make it at even 20?
Oh my god, am I back?
You're back. You're back.
You're so.
I was talking for a hot minute. I don't know what you guys heard. I could hear you, but I was clearly frozen, so I reconnected.
Oh, super frozen. Should UFC Perth be an even 20 fights at this point, since they're gonna bump it up to like 17 at this point?
So it shouldn't be, but that's at least kind of a fun gimmick. It shouldn't. I'll hate it, but if you're gonna be a bear, be a grizzly. You know.
I mean, if AK wants to give me that Saturday off for a 17 fight card, I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't. Like, I'm very interested in the main event, but
17 is like the worst number of fights. That's like a bad prime number. We can't be doing 17. You got to at least get it to 18.
Not on a fight night card that no one's going to care about 2 weeks later.
But 17 hurts my OCD.
That's right. Do we have anything else, Casey?
Then I'll. Damn it, I didn't.
Oh, wait a minute.
Jed, wait. Is Jed
He's
back?
moving, and now he's frozen.
I can hear you. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you now.
My internet is rejecting us. It doesn't want to do this anymore, is what it's decided.
He's clearing up, though.
All right. I think
Wi-Fi is only allowing us a few more minutes, so if you're going to see a pool jump, we got to hit $50 more in super chats, or else it's not going to happen. And TikTok goes the clock. What else we got? Anything?
Okay.
We got 10 minutes. 10 minutes to do it. That's just Pokemon slander catching up with him. Chris.
How did I slander Pokemon? I didn't slander Pokemon. I made a great analogy.
One of the best.
The best.
I'm telling you, if that gets live on in the Venn diagram of Poke fans and MMA fans, that little like section, man, they're gonna love that one. That's a sweet spot.
Terrific.
One of our biggest videos on the MMA Fighting YouTube channel is an interview with Ronda Rousey about Pokemon. So it's there.
Ronda Rousey's very famous, and Pokemon is very beloved. I'm not sure there's a huge number of Pokemon fans who know who Elite Topuria is, but the ones who do, they're gonna love that.
Go back to that other question. I can't believe we're talking about this, honestly. Extra Ed, what does Tank gain from beating Jake? What does Jake gain from a loss? I am choosing, Jed, to not. Well, yes, money is actually the only answer.
This is the answer. This is the answer.
Guys, it is not a real fight. They have advertised it. They have announced it as an exhibition fight. This is not real. I'm not even treating this as a real fight. So yes,
to be fair, I don't actually know if it could be a real fight because they can't get to a remotely similar weight class.
Yes, Tank gets money. Jake gets more money. And Jake can say he could do what his brother did with Floyd Mayweather in an exhibition. I hung with the pound for pound great and I beat him. Even though like I lost, it went to a draw because it's an exhibition fight and there's no decision being made. He could say, I went the distance with the best fighter in the world. And Jake can say that, and people will have to listen to it, and people won't agree with him, but people will have to hear what he has to say about it. And Tank gets nothing. And Tank should obviously be fighting somebody else right now, and he's not. So yeah, it's money, and that's it. And viewers, because people, even though this is really dumb, people are going to watch it, and they'll probably stack the rest of the card with like fights that are interesting. So It's a November tradition. It's a
Dude,
now a November where Jake Paul is fighting somebody he should not be fighting in a boxing match in November. So there you go.
I wanted to jump in.
Jake gets heat. Jake gets heat.
I want to jump because I want Jed's opinion. I want Jed's opinion on this. Is this is a freak show fight, right?
Yeah.
Is this by all definition a freak show fight?
Like that's
why do we not love this then?
by most of them. Oh, I think it's stupid, but it's not like charming, which is sort of the like part to freak show fights that are fun. Here's why I don't like it, because Tank should. Well, I don't like it because I'm not a huge fan of either man involved, but Tank should be fighting real opposition. Freak show fights are fun in the middle of doing real things. Tank should be fighting Lamar Roach, like they should be
100%.
doing that again. And so instead he's doing this, and I don't blame him. This is much more lucrative. But like I don't have any issue with this from Jake. I think this is great from Jake. But again, Jake has managed his career perfectly the whole way, top to bottom. Because like if he goes and wins, either way he gets more heat off this. People have thoughts on him picking on the smaller dude. Like, this is great from him. The entire issue is that Tank should be fighting real boxing matches against like a dude he just went hammer and tongs with, So that's the issue.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a freak show fight, but it's like we want to see Tank fight somebody else. It's not like we want to see Mike Tyson fight somebody else. It was just like, what the fuck is this? Like,
yeah, Tyson fight was a freak show fight. I was fine with it. I mean, I wasn't fine with the moral implications of it, but I was fine with it in general.
And then the fight itself. But yeah, I'm glad Mike came out of it without getting killed or badly hurt, which is always a good thing. But yeah, Tank has like just much more interesting fights that he could have from a like actual boxing sense. But yes,
it'd be funny to me if Tank dummies him, which is absolutely in play. That will legitimately be hilarious to watch. Just like, oh, look, like, yeah, you're twice his size, but he can box and you cannot. That'll be funny, but Tank should be fighting real boxers. They are real boxers. It's not like he's cleaned out his weight class or whatever,
You got anything else? Jed and Mike, thanks for being great. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Michael Bass, for also being great.
Yes. Belly flop again. Nope, we didn't do it. Sorry.
We didn't get it. I'm a man of my word. We didn't achieve the goals. We'll try again next time,
$50 to go. Who's got it?
You should not spend it on that. That's just...
Yeah, dude. It's Labor Day weekend.
Better. Yeah. Buy a 30 rack and enjoy it,
30 rack was $50. Golly.
Probably not, but it depends on what you're getting,
That's true. If you get the good stuff. I don't think if you get Red Dog, it's going to cost you $50. So, all right, hit the music. I think we've. Wait. Are we done?
No, we're good on questions. We're good.
All right, hit it. We're out of here. Shout out to Jose Youngs. Shout out to Jose Youngs. He is in the UK for Misfits Boxing 22. Apparently, there's a press conference going on, and it's what you would expect when you have influencers and Dillon Danis and Luke Rockhold and Darren Till on stage. So look for that. Those highlights on MMAfighting.com. Preview show tomorrow. We'll have a post-fight show after the event on Saturday. Because why the hell not? For Jed, for Casey, I am Mike Keck. Back next week ahead of UFC Paris. Good night, everybody.
Love y'all.